My sister-in-law got pregnant before marriage and came to my house to take care of the baby. I unexpectedly discovered that the baby she was carrying was my husband's. It turned out that she was just my mother-in-law's adopted daughter, and had no blood relationship with my husband. She took advantage of her pregnancy to bully people in my house, treated me as a nanny, and behaved ambiguously with my husband in front of me. I couldn't bear it anymore and yelled at her, but she pushed me down from the 27th floor. My mother couldn't stand the blow, her heart disease relapsed and she died with me. My father got into a car accident on the road because he was in a hurry and died on the spot. My husband inherited my father's company, spent my family's money, lived in my family's house, and lived happily with my sister-in-law. At the same time, he created an affectionate persona on the internet who missed his deceased wife. He attracted countless fans in a short time and made a lot of money. When I opened my eyes again, I went back to my sister-in-law who came to my house to take care of the baby. Ning Ning was pregnant that day, and I brought her to my house to take care of the baby. The house is big, the environment is good, and daily life is convenient. You must not make her angry. The mood of the pregnant woman is very important. When the mother-in-law brought my sister-in-law Yang Ning to my home, when she said this to me, I suddenly realized that I was reborn. Ning Ning, sleep in the master bedroom. You vacate the space and move to the study. The mother-in-law's commanding tone disrupted my thoughts. This time I did not obey obediently, but changed a strategy with a smile. Mom, Ning Ning, it's too unfair to live here. This is her first pregnancy. You have to be careful about everything. Take her to live in my big villa. Big villa? What big villa? My parents bought me a big villa before I got married. Now no one lives there. In order to take care of him, you can also move in to live with him. The mother-in-law was delighted when she heard it. Although our house is more than 140 square meters, compared with the big villa of more than 1,000 square meters, it is really too crowded. But my sister-in-law Yang Ning doesn't seem to be happy. Mom, the villa is too big, it's deserted. I still want to live with my brother and sister-in-law. We can take care of each other. I sneered in my heart. Don't think I don't know what you are thinking. Aren't you worried that it will be inconvenient to date my husband? I will help you. It's okay, Ning Ning, you can live here without worry. I'll ask your brother to visit you when he's free. I know you two siblings have had a good relationship since childhood. You're pregnant now and family company is very important. He looked at me doubtfully. Thank you, sister-in-law. I smiled at him. Why be polite? I'll ask someone to clean up the villa in the next 2 days. You can live here with peace of mind. Mom said you want to sleep in the master bedroom, right? Then you live in the master bedroom. What about my brother? How about I send your brother to you too? You're a little impatient. Your brother will sleep in the living room for the time being. The study is too small and can't accommodate 2 people. Forget it, I'll sleep in the study. Oh my God, you feel sorry for your brother now. If I remember correctly, he will soon use my skincare products, wear my clothes, and secretly sell my bags. In my last life, I fought back desperately, but it gave them a reason to cyberbully me, saying that I looked down on single mothers and was unworthy of being a woman, which directly caused me to lose my job. This time I planned to do the opposite, so I told him in advance, Ning Ning, tell me if you need anything, my protection. You can use skin products, clothes, bags, and so on as you like, as long as you are happy. You must remember that the mood of the pregnant woman is the most important, so don't put yourself in a difficult position. Sure enough, he did not doubt my motives, and secretly told my mother-in-law that Shun Nan looked like a coward and a soft persimmon, so there was no need to spend any time dealing with Mom. Your previous worries were unnecessary. He obviously told you differently. Of course he is stupid. I don't want to be a perfect victim. So how can I portray you as an unforgivable villain, and then put you to death? Let's wait and see. The game has just begun. Although I don't often live in the villa, I still know the neighbors on the left and right. On the first day, I told them that my sister-in-law was pregnant and wanted to come here to take care of the fetus. I first created a virtuous and kind person to make it easier for them to testify for me later. The second thing was to install all-round non-angle hidden cameras. It was because of this that I suffered in the last life that gave my sister-in-law the opportunity to frame me. This time I filmed them all and see if he can how to act. The third thing is to help them find a nanny to supervise the whole process, but they must take the initiative to bring it up. With the character of the mother-in-law, it is easy to make this happen. Oh, this big villa is so beautiful. Nanji, you are really something. Why haven't I heard you mention it before? It's good that Mom likes it, but it's just that the area is large and it will be hard for you to clean it. Who said I have to clean it? Your family can afford such a big villa, but you can't afford a nanny. Now your sister-in-law is the key protected person. As a sister-in-law, you have to pay what you should pay. What Mom means is that we can hire a nanny to take care of our daily life. It's okay, but hiring a nanny is not cheap. How about the money? You are embarrassed to let us pay for it. Doesn't your family have plenty of money? I heard that your father runs a big company, and they only have you as a daughter. In the future, won't it all be ours? I pretended to live there, but he didn't realize it was wrong and changed his face. It's hard to know that Mom didn't mean that. It's just that they say the eldest sister-in-law is like a mother. You don't care about your sister-in-law's affairs. If you worry more, won't it also make outsiders gossip less? Mom is also doing this for your own good. Mom, I'll go to the housekeeping company these days to see if there is any suitable one. His hanging heart finally fell. That night, I told my husband Yang Jing about this. He only said one sentence, "Listen to my mom." I knew this would be the result a long time ago. Should I go through the formalities and ask him so that it can be done in a practical way? Finding a nanny has nothing to do with me. It is their own decision. There are also some rules for finding a nanny. The role of the nanny will be my auxiliary in the later stage. She can't have weak combat effectiveness. I simply found an internet celebrity nanny who has hundreds of thousands of fans online and often shoots videos for live broadcasts. The price is a bit expensive, but the cost performance is definitely not low. When interviewing the nanny, I specifically asked the mother-in-law and sister-in-law to be present. Wu Ma has been doing this for so many years and has enough experience, but the salary is a little high. Mom, why don't we take a look again? The mother-in-law rolled her eyes at me. I think you are just afraid of spending money on us. Mom, you misunderstood me. Then it's her. Expensive has its own price. Samabana? That's right, as long as he can take good care of me and Ningning, it'll be fine. Then he started to scold me again. You two, you've been married to my son for 3 years and haven't had any children. Who are you going to spend all that money on? Be nice to your sister-in-law. Her children can provide for you in the future. Don't be ungrateful. I pretended not to be able to swallow this breath, and cried to my husband, asking him if he also disliked that I couldn't have children. How could that be? He rubbed my head and comforted me, saying that the person I love is you, and it doesn't matter whether we have children or not. Besides, both of us are focusing on our careers now, and having children at this time would disrupt our rhythm. Seeing that I was silent, he went on to say, "Wife, if you really like children, my sister is pregnant, isn't she? You can raise his child in the future." The abacus was making a strange noise that could be heard 10 miles away. This dog man is full of tricks. In fact, I got pregnant in the first year of our marriage. After I got pregnant, my husband became very abnormal. He came home later and later, and his clothes always smelled of perfume. Once I even looked at when I saw a light red kiss mark on his neck. I burst into tears and made a fuss. He accidentally pushed me down and I had an accidental miscarriage. Since then, I have never been able to get pregnant again. Because of this incident, my mother-in-law ridiculed me openly and covertly, and my husband became more and more cold towards me. This gave my sister-in-law the confidence to take over later. It doesn't matter, I remember all these accounts, we will slowly calculate them. After the nanny was found, the mother and daughter officially began to enjoy their lives. My mother-in-law was like the Empress Dowager, bossing the nanny Wu Ma around every day, teaching her a lesson in words and deeds, implying that she was just a servant, while my sister-in-law was like a delicate little princess, dressing up beautifully every day, going shopping and squandering. She was no longer satisfied with carrying my bag, and seeing that I was so easy to talk to, she simply swiped my credit card to buy a new one, and spent more than 100,000 yuan in just 1 month. She would usually invite a few sisters to have afternoon tea, take beautiful photos, and then post them on WeChat moments to show off. When others asked him where he got so much money since he didn't have a job, he said shamelessly that my brother spoiled me and was willing to make money for me to spend. Your sister-in-law has no objection. What is a sister-in-law? She is just an outsider. Of course, my brother has the final say. We really envy you. You are so lucky. He raised his chin proudly and enjoyed the flattery with peace of mind. I will save these screenshots as evidence to bring him down in the future. After all, these are the common property of the couple. As long as I want, I can get them back at any time. Before completely destroying a person, you must first make him swell. Only by pretending to be a pig can you successfully eat the tiger. In my last life, I couldn't keep my temper. I fell into the trap every time and finally ended up with a broken family. Soon his rampantness planted the seeds of disaster. He offended Aunt Wu. According to Aunt Wu, the family's living expenses are getting bigger and bigger. They always eat whatever is expensive. Birds' nests worth tens of thousands of yuan a pound are directly thrown into the trash can if they are not delicious. King crabs and Australian lobsters worth thousands of yuan are directly thrown to stray dogs outside. This is not the point. The point is that they treat Aunt Wu as a servant. Madam, I have never seen such a tolerant person like you. How can you be a mother-in-law? And my sister-in-law, they are two living bodhisattvas, I really can't stand it. Wu Ma, don't argue with them. If you really find it difficult, I will give you a raise. Madam, that's not what I meant. I know you like to shoot short videos very much, right? I will turn a blind eye to it in the future. Is that okay? This way you can also make some extra money. Can we help each other? Of course I can. I'm just standing up for you, madam. I smiled and told him that I had nothing to do and I would say a few good words for Yang Ning. My sister-in-law had great mood swings during pregnancy. You should bear more of it. Since then, Wu Ma has become bolder in shooting videos and doing live broadcasts. She has more and more fans, and more people are complaining about my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. This move followed the approach of my sister-in-law in the previous life. At that time, she also opened a self-media account, positioning herself as a strong single mother. From time to time, she hinted at how hard it was to live under someone else's roof and how vicious I, her sister-in-law, was. This also directly led to me being cyberbullied in the later period. This time I took a step ahead of her and took her way, leaving her with no way out, but he didn't realize that he was falling into the trap I dug step by step. He just thought that I was a stupid and rich idiot. Not only could he spend my money and live in my house, he could also openly occupy my husband, and I didn't know anything about it. In this case, I will give you another push and give my husband to you completely. One night, I deliberately said to Yang Jing, "Husband, I think Ningning is too pitiful. She has a child before getting married. She will be a single mother in the future. We, as her brother and sister-in-law, must be nice to her." She smiled at me with satisfaction. Otherwise, how could I say that I am lucky to marry a wife as beautiful and kind as you? So I thought, while I was massaging her back, I said, "Why don't you not go to the company for the time being, and go to the villa to accompany her more? But the company is so busy, don't you still have me?" If I hadn't had any experience in giving birth, I would have wanted to take care of him myself. It's a big deal for a woman to get pregnant and give birth to a child. It's better to have family around than a nanny, an outsider. He hesitated, but he agreed in the end. After all, he wanted to be alone with Yang Ning more than anyone else. She was pregnant with his own child. The reason why he didn't want to divorce me was not because he loved me so much, but because he couldn't bear to part with my family's money and my family's company. In my previous life, Yang Ning pushed me down from the 27th floor and told others that I committed suicide. Not only did he not shed a tear, he also felt extremely fortunate. Especially after my parents passed away one after another, he was even more excited, because this way he could occupy all my family's property. This man looked handsome, family-oriented, honest and dull on the surface, but in fact, he was as vicious and scheming as a snake and was more terrifying than anyone I had ever met. With my acquiescence, he and Yang Ning became more and more open with others. Several times when I went to the villa to visit them, I ran into Yang Ning sitting on his lap, and he was feeding him fruit mouthful by mouthful. They were so intimate that they looked more like a couple than a couple. Wu Ma had long suspected their relationship. Whenever she saw me, she would always be hesitant to speak. Instead, I comforted her not to think too much. They had been brothers and sisters since childhood. It's just intimacy, nothing more. Over time, even Wu Ma thought I was stupid and pitiful, and began to help me keep an eye on their movements intentionally or unintentionally. Since this line has been almost buried, let's explode a small bomb first. Otherwise your life will be too comfortable. One weekend, Yang Jing went into Yang Ning's bedroom as usual, and never came out again. I shared a marketing case with Wu Ma in time and told her, "Look, this video is very popular." Sure enough, everyone is more interested in what rich people eat. You can also try to shoot it. He instantly got the inspiration and started to do live broadcasts, mainly focusing on the lunch of rich people. He started shooting from the moment he entered the door, and then washed the vegetables and cooked the dishes and served them on the table. It was just a coincidence that this time, Wu Ma had just opened the door when she heard an indescribable sound coming from the master bedroom. He was scared and screamed, and then he saw the two disheveled people. "Wu Ma, things are not what you think. My sister and I, in fact, Yang Jing had not had time to wipe the sweat on his forehead." He explained hesitantly while buttoning his buttons. Little the sister-in-law also came out wrapped in a blanket, with a very arrogant attitude. "So what if you saw it, you stinky worker? Tell me how much money you want to not tell me, sister-in-law. This is not a matter of money. You do this kind of thing is really what's wrong, old thing. Don't be shameless. You dare to disclose the privacy of customers. Be careful or I will sue you for some customers. Is it you who pays my salary? Wu Ma is anxious. I will expose it even if I don't do it. You are too bullying. Your sister-in-law is so good to you. What you did is not a human thing. Not to mention you are pregnant, you and your brother." Wu Ma was so angry that she was incoherent. At this time my mother-in-law came in. It was even more lively. She saw the look on Yang Jing and Yang Ning, and instantly understood everything, turned around and began to threaten Wu Ma. "Don't spread this matter, watch your mouth or I will make you pay for it." Wu Ma was shocked and aggrieved. "As a mother, can you watch your own child do this?" "Oh, it's not what you think." My mother-in-law made up her mind and directly admitted that they were not siblings. "My daughter, the son is adopted." Aunt Wu was completely stunned. "This is even worse. Isn't this the mistress? Are you doing this to your wife?" As she spoke, Aunt Wu started crying silently. "I'll call your wife right now. How dare you?" The mother-in-law rushed up and knocked the phone away, and then slapped Aunt Wu in the face. "You are a traitor. Don't forget your identity." "So what if she knows? It's her fault that she can't give birth. We just want to leave a descendant for the Yang family. What's wrong with that? You will really get retribution. Aunt Wu covered her face with tears falling. She squatted down to get her phone. Then she suddenly realized that the live broadcast that was turned on when she entered the door was not turned off. She gasped in fear and almost fainted. At this time, the number of online viewers has exceeded 5 million. Very good, better than I thought. I just want to confuse someone first, let you lose your composure and then catch you off guard. The time has come, it's my turn to appear. This time I will make you die knowingly. What happened? As soon as I entered the door, I saw Aunt Wu covering her face. Crying and sobbing, Grandma Wu folded her arms and stood beside angrily. Yang Jing had already put on his clothes, and Yang Ning was still wrapped in a bath towel. Madame Wu rushed to me first and said, "You have to make the decision for me. They did something shameful and they dared to take action and beat people. What's going on?" The three of them looked at each other, and no one answered me. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Before I could open it, they unlocked it and came in directly. It was my parents. My dad walked straight to Yang Jing without saying a word. In front of him, he slapped her loudly. "You beast, how dare you do this to our Nanji? I'll break your legs." Seeing this, the mother-in-law panicked and shouted to protect her son. My mother grabbed his collar, pushed him to the ground and kicked him hard. "You old man, we bought a big villa for you to live in with good intentions, but you did such a thing. Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning? Today I will teach you a lesson." Wow, my parents are so handsome. For a moment, the sounds of beating, scolding, screaming and crying merged into one. All the neighbors from the two buildings on the left and right came to see. The people on the street in front were also alarmed and ran over. Some people were secretly taking photos and videos. Yang Ning saw that something was wrong, so he remembered to close the door and change the bath towel, otherwise it would not be nice to get beaten. It was almost time to stop. I pretended not to know the situation and went up to persuade them to stop fighting. "Mom and Dad, you guys take a break first. We can discuss anything. Don't do it yet." After saying that, I motioned to my mom to kick my mother-in-law again. She just wanted to sit up, but she lay down again with a roar. "Okay, calm down, someone come and tell me what happened. Don't you go online? It's all spread online. And you, the person involved, are still kept in the dark. What's the point of raising a useless daughter like you?" My mother scolded me in frustration, and the corners of my mouth rose slightly. I took out my phone and saw a few words on the hot search. Article, "My sister-in-law's child is actually my husband's." I have to say the heat has risen so quickly, but now is not the time to be happy. I have to pretend first. So I looked incredulous and asked Yang Jing, my husband, in a trembling voice, "Is this all true? The child my sister is pregnant with is yours. You actually did it behind my back. Don't lie and say it didn't happen." The mother-in-law stood up with difficulty and explained for her that they are siblings. Her child is her boyfriend's and has nothing to do with her brother. Is that right? Which boyfriend? Why haven't I heard Yang Ning mention him? Yang Ning pretended to be calm and tucked the hair on his forehead behind his ears in panic. "Even if I tell you, you don't know me. Is it necessary to tell you? Is that right? Then do you dare to go to the hospital for amniocentesis and do a DNA test? You say you will do it. Everyone knows that amniocentesis has risks. I don't think you can get pregnant on your own. You must be jealous of my pregnancy." As she was talking, Yang Ning suddenly shouted, "My husband," and Yang Jing took the opportunity to support him. At this time, some enthusiastic neighbor who came to watch the fun suddenly shouted, "Hey, look, he is bleeding." Yes, he is bleeding. Her white skirt was scarlet at this time. Like a red plum blossom blooming in the snow, it was very beautiful. Yang Jing was visibly panicked. He picked her up by the waist and rushed to the door. I wanted to follow her, but she stopped me. Then I could only drive there by myself. If I didn't go, how could I appreciate the fruits of my labor in person? When I arrived, my sister-in-law Yang Ning was still rescuing her, and my mother-in-law was crying beside her. My husband was scratching his head in anxiety, and I was the only one swiping my phone, looking at today's hot searches and netizens' comments. This matter is getting more and more intense on the internet. The three of them are completely popular. Netizens have the topic has caused an uproar, and the class representative's summary was praised to the top of the hot comments. In a word, the sister-in-law was kind-hearted and took her pregnant sister-in-law to her home to take care of the baby. She hired a nanny to serve her with delicious food and drinks. Unexpectedly, the sister-in-law was the third party. The child she was pregnant with was her brother's. The two were fake siblings but real lovers. The comments below quickly received thousands of likes. It's really rare to see such a thing. It completely refreshed my 3 views. I heard that the sister-in-law spent a lot of money serving the sister-in-law. This is a loss of both the wife and the army. The mother-in-law and the sister-in-law are really nothing. I usually see Wu-ma sharing and I know how much they look down on people. They spend other people's money, live in other people's houses, and do things that are sorry to others. How dare they do that? Don't they have any heart? Oh, I know this mother-in-law. Isn't this the weird mother-in-law of my neighbor? Our owners group is spreading this. My neighbors are so miserable. The people upstairs have started talking about it. Just listen. These neighbors did not disappoint. They quickly posted the whole story of how I brought my mother-in-law and sister-in-law to live in the villa, including but not limited to paying for a nanny for them, paying for their food and drink, and how they were arrogant to me and repaid me with evil. They did not let out a single detail. Netizens are not stupid either. They compared the revelations of the neighbors and looked through Wu Ma's videos and live broadcasts. They all matched up. The name of the online store opened by my sister-in-law was dug out and posted online for public ridicule. Even if the store is not closed, it is estimated that it will be completely gone. I don't know how she felt when she woke up and saw all this. Just as she was thinking about it, the door of the operating room suddenly opened. My husband and mother-in-law surrounded her instantly. The doctor took off his mask and said that the child was temporarily saved, but you must not have sex again in the future. Although you are already in the second trimester, it is also very bad for the fetus. After saying this, she glanced at my husband, as if it was more embarrassing than scolding him. She touched her nose awkwardly and lowered her head. My mother-in-law was so angry that she beat and scolded me, saying, "It's all your fault, Mom. What do you mean? What do you mean it's all your fault? It was really Yongjing who did it." After saying this, I began to sob softly, looking extremely aggrieved. "No, of course not," she denied it. At this time, Yongning was pushed out, and the topic was temporarily over. Since we don't want to talk about it, let's not talk about it first. The best part is yet to come. Until Yongning was discharged from the hospital, they still refused to admit that the child was Yongjing's, and only said that it was from an ex-boyfriend. I calculated according to the time of her pregnancy, and found the most likely ex-boyfriend to confront him face to face. What a coincidence, this ex-boyfriend was named Zhongjin. Yongning's ex-boyfriend and Zhou knew about Yongning's pregnancy some time ago, but he never found a chance to come and confirm it. Now, hearing Yongning admit it in person, he was even more excited. "Ningning, is the child mine? You broke up with me because you thought I couldn't afford it, but my salary has increased now, and I can let you live a good life. Come back with me and let's get married, okay? This man is in love. Just propose to me without asking for confirmation. If there is bacteria, it doesn't matter if it is pure." After hearing this, Yongning frowned and wrote the word disgust on her face. She shook off his hand and yelled at him to get out. "Don't be so self-indulgent. How could I be pregnant with your child? You cheated on me while you were in love with me. Who is that person? How dare you cheat on me?" Yongning was choked. After all, what he said was the truth. In fact, when he was hanging out with his nominal brother, who is my husband, she did not break up with the ex-boyfriend until she found out she was pregnant. Then she drew a line with him at the first opportunity. At that time, they were already at the stage of discussing marriage. In short, it has nothing to do with you. If you don't leave, I'm calling the police. Yongning hesitated and couldn't answer, so he simply drove him away. Then go ahead and report it. At worst, you can do a paternity test. I want to see which man the child was born to you and... Hearing the words paternity test, Yongning panicked instantly. I could only calm him down and let him talk. I quickly added fuel to the fire. "Why are you panicking? Why are you so panicked when you heard about doing a paternity test? Didn't you say the child was your ex-boyfriend's? Which ex-boyfriend is it? Or are you lying? The child is your brother's." He's speechless. My husband Yongjing began to protect him. "Shenanji, are you done yet? Whose child is my sister's? Is it really that important? Do you have to destroy him before you will stop? He has lost his job, his online store has been blocked, and people point fingers at him and scold him when he goes out. Don't forget, he is a pregnant woman. We are both women. Why are you so vicious? I am willing to believe him." I try to keep calm. Isn't this giving him a chance to prove his innocence? If the child is not yours, I can let bygones be bygones and pretend that nothing happened. There is no need to prove it. Don't you just want a divorce? I will grant you your wish. We can get a divorce now, but you are the one at fault and must leave the house with nothing. In fact, leaving the house with nothing is a bargain for him. Of course, I am not willing to do this. The reason I say this is because I knew that Yongning would definitely not agree, because from the beginning to the end, what he wanted was my family's money. Sure enough, he immediately started to stop me. Why should my brother be kicked out of the house? He didn't do anything wrong. Shenanji, you are really a vicious woman. No wonder my brother doesn't like you. No man would like you. Whether you like me or not, you are his legal wife. Unlike some people, who can only be a mistress after all their efforts. He was completely enraged and rushed up to hit me. This scene was very similar to the previous life. We also had a verbal dispute in the previous life. I touched his sore spot. In a fit of rage, he pushed me down from the 27th floor and killed me on the spot. Now he probably wants to do the same, but he doesn't dare, or he hasn't got the right opportunity yet. After being pulled away, he suddenly started crying. "No, I won't kiss you no matter what. Paternity test. I can't let my child suffer such humiliation before he is born. No matter who the father of the child is, I will give birth to him. I was speechless. No one said that I couldn't let you have the baby, you should give birth to the baby, but this matter is related to whether my marriage with Yangjing will continue. Paternity test must be done, and I won't do it if I say so. My mother-in-law seemed really anxious and started to talk without thinking. Even if it is Yangjing, so what? They are not siblings at all. If not, you can't have the baby. Do we have to do this? Oh, he admitted it, and he even seemed to be righteous. In other words, if you admit it, then there is nothing to say, just go through the divorce procedures. I will make Yangjing leave the house with nothing, and I will also recover all the money I spent on Yangning during this period. Now you pack up and move out immediately, go. The mother-in-law continued to make trouble. Why do you say to move and you say to divorce? We won't move and we won't divorce. Ningning is pregnant now. If something goes wrong with her, can you bear the responsibility? I looked at her quietly, and then called the police in front of her. When the police arrived, all the neighbors came to see me and explained the situation one by one. This matter was defined as a family dispute and reconciliation was the main approach, but I did not accept any form of reconciliation. Since this villa was bought by my parents and it was my premarital property, they could only move out. As for the other one, although I paid the down payment, it was the loan that Yangjing and I paid off together so they could live there temporarily. But this is not important. What is important is that I want the neighbors to see that the police have been alerted to the matter, and they can't wait to post it online. The onlookers were all shocked. All the brains surrounded me. In the last life I was the one who was cyberbullied, but this time it was the other way around. Due to such a huge impact, whenever the three of them went out they would be pointed at. But even at this point, Yangjing still didn't want to divorce because divorce meant that he would have nothing, and all their plans were ruined. Seeing that the child was about to be born, and I was still alive and well, Yangning began to worry. He asked someone to tamper with the glass on the balcony. This trick was exactly the same as in the previous life. I lived on the 27th floor. If there was a problem with the glass on the balcony, then I only needed to push it gently and I would fall down with the broken glass. But they didn't know that this time I had installed the camera in advance. His plan was to deliberately lead me to the balcony, have a fierce quarrel with me, and then pretend to push me casually. In a moment, this incident could be defined as an accident afterwards. Even if there was an investigation, it would be the glass manufacturer's fault, not him. I have to say that he had a good plan, but he never expected that when he pushed me I dodged it, and the person who fell was him. With a shrill scream, most of his body was already out of the window. At the critical moment, my husband Yangjing reached out and grabbed his calf. He was hanging outside in an upside-down position. I was so scared that I screamed and called the police in a panic. Then I rushed up regardless of anything and pretended to hold Yangjing's hand together. From the picture captured by the camera behind me, it seemed that I was saving people together with Yangjing, but in fact I was trying to pull Yangjing down with my body strength, and at the same time I grabbed his hand away in a panic. He couldn't hold on for less than half a minute, and we both slid down. The next second I heard my screams from the air. When the police arrived, both of us had no signs of life, and I was slumped on the ground. They learned from the surveillance video that it was an accident, and they really started to investigate the glass manufacturer. But the strange thing was that there was no problem with the glass itself, but it was tampered with a few days ago. Multiple investigations revealed that the deceased, Yangning, had secretly contacted a worker who specialized in replacing glass, and cracked the glass on the balcony in advance. It was very likely that it was completely shattered after being hit by someone. In other words, Yangning's original intention was to murder me, but he accidentally killed himself. Because they were popular, the incident quickly spread on the internet, and most people said that it was their fault. It's all your fault. This is the legendary retribution in this life. And I'm just an innocent victim. When my mother-in-law learned of the result, she hated me to the core and insisted that I was the one who harmed them. But she had no evidence, so she couldn't do anything to me, so she could only make a fuss. Later, he became a little out of his mind, and often called his eldest grandson while holding a doll he picked up from the trash can. Later, his doll was thrown into the river by a group of children as a prank, and he jumped in to pick it up regardless of everything, and never came up again until someone fished him out. I became a widow, inherited all the inheritance of my husband Yang Jian, received sympathy, love and blessings, then sold the house we lived in together, erased any memories related to him, sorted out my mood, and lived the rest of my life in the best possible manner. The full text ends here.